Hello everyone, this is Steve O'Reilly with SkinnyPost.com, and I have the privilege to be joined today with Davone Bess, wide receiver of the Miami Dolphins. How you doing today, sir? It's nice to have you on the website.
Doing good, man. How y'all doing?
I'm doing real well. Thanks for joining us today. Let's jump right in and talk about your charity work. You and I just had a discussion about some of the things that you're doing down in Costa Rica. You've also done some things in your native land out in Oakland, out in California. A lot of things that you're involved with. Let's go ahead and talk about that and some of the positive that you're instilling in your communities.
Well, first and foremost, I started this foundation, because I feel like with my story and what I've been through, I'm able to give back and, be able to give kids and the youth a nice message about who I am as a person and what I've overcame to become where I'm at today. So I started my foundation in December. I recently had my first main event, big event out in my hometown in Oakland, and it was a celebrity all-star basketball game. I brought in a whole bunch of my teammates, a whole bunch of friends across the league, most of them from the Bay Area, and we played a charity basketball game against the Oakland Police Department and tried to raise as much money as possible to help out some of the local high schools, including my high school. They're in the process of actually losing their sports program, and it's very unfortunate. And I do realize, without high school sports, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So that's very important to me.
And what about down in Costa Rica? What are some of the things that you're doing there?
Me and my manager got involved with this organization called Global Volunteers. It's 100%, volunteer, and we reached out to them. And told them we wanted to come down and try to help out as much as possible. At the time, they had no idea who I was or who my manager was. And from that standpoint, we just wanted to go down there and just help out people, man. We're actually going to be going down there, tiling their gymnasium floors, helping repair some of the leaks and holes in their roofs, renovating some of their libraries. And, I'm sponsored by Adidas. So Adidas is sending me down there with a whole bunch of soccer equipment, soccer balls, shin guards, goalies, nets, first aid kits, blood pressure kits, and just rice cookers, all kind of stuff like that. And in a nutshell, that's what my foundation and that's what I'm all about, is just trying to make a difference, whether it's giving back, my time or going out and helping them, put a hole, patch a hole in the roof, man. So that's kind of what we're all about.
Well, good for you. It's commendable. We like to showcase athletes like yourself here at SkinnyPost.com, obviously, and highlight all the good in the community that you do. So keep up the good work. It doesn't go unnoticed. I know, other outlets like to showcase the negative, but we like to showcase the positive, and we definitely like hearing the things that you're doing in the community. So keep it up. Good for you.
Definitely. Respect.
Let's talk a little football. You came out of the University of Hawaii and you went undrafted, but you didn't go unnoticed. Your rookie year you came out, you were right there with Eddie Royal, Deshaun Jackson in catches. You did your thing. How did playing at the University of Hawaii, and especially after the draft came and went, okay, so let me just paraphrase this a little bit here. University of Hawaii, you guys kind of ran a run-and-shoot style offense. That some critics, it's not a pro offense, that kind of thing. So then the draft comes, you don't hear your name called. What are you thinking at that point? Where are you in your mind? What's going on with you?
Well, I left school early, I had 3 productive years at University of Hawaii. I got a second-round grade from the advisory board as far as coming out early. And number 3, I was healthy. I hadn't missed a game in college, and only thing I could have been risking coming back my senior year is potentially getting hurt. And with all that being said, I was just ready for the next phase of my life. The next challenge. And when draft day came around and my name wasn't called, it was definitely devastating. Because that's every kid's childhood dream, is to see your name scroll at the bottom of the screen come draft day. But you know what? Life isn't all peaches and cream, and at every aspect of my life, I had to, overcome some sort of obstacles, So once my name wasn't called, I just, went back to my morals and went back to my roots where I came from and just realized it was grind time and time to go get it, So the Miami Dolphins gave me an opportunity to come out, and they signed me as a free agent. I went through rookie camp. I went through training camp. Made the team, and I kind of just worked my tail off tremendously and made the most of every opportunity that was given, man. And you know, pretty much the rest is history. Never really looked back.
Right. What's the one thing that you could point to, if anything, that was the fastest or the hardest thing for you to learn as an undrafted, you know, free agent coming into a pro atmosphere? You've got obviously big first-round picks. You've got veterans. You've got a, you know, a mix of different personalities. But to get yourself ready to play, what was the one thing that you needed to do to prepare yourself for the NFL?
I think for the most part is just, you know, especially being a rookie, taking care of your body. You know, I pride myself in working out and working hard and stuff, but rookies don't understand, you know, well, kids coming from college to the pros, they don't understand how long the season is, man. And, you know, just from a physical standpoint, just keeping my body in tune, you know, getting the cold tub every day, stretching, just doing the extra things that's definitely going to keep you healthy, man. Obviously, if you're not healthy and you're not, you know, at practice, you're not going to play. So if you want to, you know, go out and compete every day, man, you gotta take care of the body. Have to. It's a must.
Right. So let's talk now. Now that we prefaced it with the University of Hawaii, we talked about the run and shoot. Can we put some of this to rest right now? I mean, these conversations that we hear, you know, experts and pundits say that it's not a pro offense. Let's be honest. At the end of the day, football is football, right? You got to catch the ball, you got to run with it, you got to tackle the guy, and you can't make mistakes and turn the ball over. I mean, that's the bottom line.
You're right. You're 100% right. And you know, I had a million interviews, man, and I hold on to this every day, even up until this point. If it wasn't for me playing at University of Hawaii, I wouldn't be as productive as early as I was in my career. You know, me playing for a coach like Coach June Jones, man, was an unbelievable experience, you know, because he had coaching the pros and he kind of ran his practices, ran the system, ran everything from a pro standpoint, you know. So I kind of had a feel already. And with that being said, you know, being in the run and shoot, you know, Coach Jones will be in our meeting room, in the receiver's room, and coaching us from the quarterback standpoint. So when I got to training camp, you know, in 2008, and I'm with Chad Pennington and Chad Henne, you know, I was somewhat ahead of the game already as far as understanding coverages, understanding leverage, understanding the weaknesses and the soft spots in the zones. And it helped me transition to the league like crazy, man. So, you know, running routes and being able to read the safety rolling over to the other hash, you know what I'm saying? Just little stuff like that, picking up, you know, leverages from the linebacker. Just know how to read the body language of the defenders. And, you know, it helped me out tremendously playing at University of Hawaii, just from a mental standpoint. And then, obviously, catching all those passes, you know. We caught a lot of balls in practices and in the game. So it was definitely special.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. What were I read some former interviews that you've done. I know that you cite Darrelle Revis as being the corner that just knows, you know, the ins and outs and the little things that frustrate you. But going forward, what do you think as far as the Dolphins cornerbacks are concerned? I mean, you go up against your corners in practice all the time. So who gives you the most trouble on your own roster?
You know what? If I had to pick one guy, I mean, that's the thing. I can't really pick one guy and say that this guy give me problems, this guy give me problems. You know, because our guys are real good, you know, and everybody has weaknesses and everybody has some strengths. But, you know, if I did have to pick one person, I'd say Vontae, man, because he's young, he's very gifted, and very, very talented. Now, we go at it in practice, man, and it's all good, you know, because, you know, at the end of the day, we're trying to make each other better, you know. And that's what it's about, you know. If we're helping a team, you know, we're working towards a common goal. And you know, I like to say Will Allen too. You know, my rookie year, Will Allen, you know, kind of taught me a lot, man, because he was, you know, obviously the best corner out there. You know, while I was a rookie, and there was times I was getting like jammed up by him, and he telling me you need to do this or do that better, and he just had that veteran experience that you know, me being a young rookie, I didn't know nothing about. So I can tip my hat off to him too and say how he helped me tremendously transition, you know, over to the league as well. So you know, we got some young guys that's stepping up, man, and that's very, very good, and we're excited for their future.
You know I'm going to tweet that to Sean Smith, right?
Sean Smith. Sean is good too, man. Sean is very, very long, man, and very athletic, man. And that's kind of hard to come across in this league. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I said, everybody has weaknesses. Everybody has strengths. Like, it's some things I got to work on to get better at. Some things that Vontae has to get better at. Sean, everybody, and there's always room for improvement.
Right.
Get down.
And you guys have such a good young nucleus of players. I mean, you really have a bunch of guys that are relatively young. And you look at the offense in place, with Henny and Long and, yourself, Brandon Marshall's still young. You got a lot of tools in place. It'll be quite interesting to see. And talking about your offense, what do you expect from your new offensive coordinator? There's going to be a little change in Miami. I think a lot of pundits, and I don't mean to disrespect anything of the Dolphins, but a lot of pundits, and I have to admit, that offense seemed a little outdated at times. It seemed like it was stuck in 1985 when the league is throwing the ball around a million times and you guys are still kind of playing small ball. Did you feel that at all, or am I off base?
Well, I mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and one thing, us being a team and an organization, the coaches give us the plan. And it's up to us if we want to buy into the plan or not, And there's no way that we can go into a season saying, "Oh, I'm not doing this. This is old. This is that. This is that." All we can do is go with the plan and work it to the best of our ability. So with that being said, we got our new offensive coordinator coming in. We excited, man. We know he has a history of of throwing the ball around a little bit, spreading the guys out, and letting the guys go make plays. So I'm super excited. I'm looking forward to it, man. And hopefully we can get this lockout thing situated so that way we can get up and running.
I had a Dolphin fan that sent me an email, wanted to ask you a question specifically about closing out games. Felt that there was a number of games that you all should have won, and for some reason or another, it just didn't get closed out. Is that something you can address, or is that just the way the NFL is? I mean,
hey, it's a tough league, man. Everything isn't going to go as planned. One thing we do, we work as hard as we can to win the game. It's not like we go out and then we get to the end of the game and say, okay, we want to get the other team the game. That's not the case. There's definitely some mistakes from a player standpoint, mistakes from the coaching, and that's why we're a team. We win together, we lose together, and the team that has the minimal mistakes is going to win the game.
Right. Now, you specifically, I'm not going to call you a slot receiver. I know a lot of people want to, but I think you're a receiver. I don't think you're a slot receiver. I think you could be a number one on a lot of NFL teams personally, and I'm not just saying that because I'm talking to you right now.
I appreciate that, man.
So, how do you approach the game? Who do you emulate? Who do you see yourself playing as? I mean, I know you want to be Mr. Bess, but is there anyone that you watch growing up? Is there anyone that you watch, maybe even currently, that you say, that guy's kind of built like me. I see some of the things he does. I could do that too. Definitely.
I grew up in Oakland, in the Bay Area, so I was a big Jerry Rice, big Tim Brown fan growing up. And one thing that stood out the most about those guys was not what they did on the field, it's what they did off the field during the off season, and how they took pride in making their season during the off season. And that's a trait that I kind of been carrying my whole career. High school, college, and football is taking the off season very serious, because once the season come around, now it's time to play. And I'm a big fan of football. I look across the league and I see a whole bunch of receivers that I like, that I'm a fan of, and I say, okay, I can take something from his game, apply it to my game, take something from that game, his game, and apply it to my game as well. So it's not like I look at one particular guy and say I want to mock that guy, and that's not the case. At the end of the day, I'm my own man, and I want to be known as Davone Bess and who I am as a football player. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. But for the most part, man, I'm a big fan of a whole bunch of receivers in the league, man, and just trying to learn as much as possible. Even with Brandon, I'm a big fan of B. Marshall. I told him that when he first got to the Dolphins, and we clicked instantly. First thing we talked about is, helping each other get better. And we in practice critiquing each other. I'm looking at stuff he's doing, trying to apply to my game, and same thing vice versa. And we're just trying to help each other so we can win some championships.
Absolutely. Well, I want to ask one final question, then we'll let you go. We really appreciate you bringing us right into your house and doing this interview with us here tonight. If you had to describe your head coach in 3 words or less, what would it be?
Passionate, thankful, and just hard worker. That's one guy I can say that really takes advantage of his opportunity. It's rare that you get the opportunity to be a head coach in this league, just like be a football player. And you get some coaches and you get some players that take their position and what they do for granted, man. And I tell you one thing, Coach Sperano, he makes the most of his time as being the Dolphins head coach, man.
Good. Well, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and chatting with us. I know NFL fans are really tired of hearing about, all the labor issues. We like to sit down and talk to good people like yourself about football, about the great work you're doing off the field, about the hard work you're putting in on the field. And if there's any role model that any parent's looking for their child to grow up and be like and develop into, Davone Bess is definitely a name that they would not hesitate to say. So,
thank you, man. I appreciate that. Much respect.
Keep the good work up. Once again, I'm Steve O'Reilly. That's Davone Bess. This is SkinnyPost.com. We're giving you the skinny 24/7.